Hello and good day to everyone. My name is Ruslan Volpi. I am an area manager for Middle East and Africa of IED, Istituto Europeo di Design. Today we will be having an introduction of what is ID, where is operating ID, and what we are proposing to our students. So without further ado, I would like to share my screen and I would like also to show you a brief presentation. Okay, so let's start immediately. So, as I was telling you, ID is Istituto Europeo di Design, is an Italian reality that was born more than 50 years ago in Italy, to be precise, in Milano. And in these 50 years, we managed to spread out in 12 locations between Italy, Spain, and Brazil. Nowadays, we have more than 10,000 students coming from virtually all over the world. And as you can see, we have more than 100 nationalities in our school. So we can say without any problem that we are quite a melting pot of cultures, religions, and people coming from all over the world. As all the universities, we are proposing courses that are undergraduate, master, summer, semester, and continuing education courses. But what is our mission? The mission of ID. The mission of ID is to design the knowledge and the mindset of the future professionist. So the idea is really to prepare in the most practical way the people in preparation for the work environment. As we were saying, ID has a 100% Italian DNA that it was born in 1966 from our founder, Mr. Francesco Morelli, this Italian guy that, when he was quite young, decided to found this istituto, this university, that was actually aiming to develop the creative industries that before, as you can imagine, if you wanted to become a fashion designer or a graphic designer, you had to somehow enter inside a company and somehow develop your skills in the years meanwhile you were working. He understood that the university was actually lacking on preparation in the creative industry, to be precise, in the disciplines of design, fashion, visual arts, and communication and management and art. So he decided to build up this university. The first one, as we were saying, was in Milano. So in all these years, throughout the years, we managed to spread out in all Italy, in Milano, Rome, Torino, Cagliari, Florence, Venice, and Como. These are the cities where are hosting our schools in Italy. In Spain, as I was telling you before, we are also located in Spain, and our campuses are located in Madrid, in Barcelona, and Bilbao. In Brazil, we are located in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. So the founder of our school realized that if you wanted to become, a good professionist, as we were saying before, you had to prepare yourself in a very practical way. And our school actually, since then, this adopted this methodology, and this actual methodology dictated the success of our institution. So the people that we are preparing are professionals that are already having certain skills that automatically becomes very interesting for the companies to start working with them. So it's a very dynamic environment, we can say. The learning methodology, the learning by doing methodology, this is also another important factor. So we have different peculiarities that are characterizing our institution. One, for example, can be the dimension of our classes. I mean, please do not imagine our institution with huge classes like the normal standard university with hundreds of students in each class. We actually go on the other side. We try to have a maximum number of students per class, per section, which is never going beyond 25 students. And this is because it's not because we don't have students, actually, we have a lot of them, but because we want to mentor the students, we want to know the students. We strongly believe that we are all quite different, and this is a very strong opportunity for each of us. And we need to understand and, somehow tailor our comprehension of the topic in order to be successful in life. Learning by doing methodology also reflects the structure of the school. So each of our specialization has its own laboratory. So if you are doing fashion, for example, you're having the fashion laboratory. If you're doing design, you have the interior and product design laboratory, which is always at service of the students. So in short words, our institution is trying to giving all the needed material and softwares also to the students in order to be, to carry out all these projects that we were talking about before. Another important pillars of our institution is the fact that we are working in synergies with a lot of companies. At the moment, ID has a standing collaboration with more than 1,000 companies. This is huge. I mean, a huge number. We're talking about big multinational companies. Here you have Amazon, but we have many others, but also small and medium enterprises. Another important factor is that in each of our cities, you can imagine we have certain companies that are quite radicated in the territory, and we try to collaborate with them. So we characterize each of our institution around the world for certain aspects. So instead of copying and pasting our courses, we try somehow to give a touch, a personal touch given by the city that is hosting our school. Genius logic. This is exactly what we were talking about before. So the idea that each city has a certain soul, has a certain characteristic, and we want to embrace them instead of just being an institution inside a city. We want to become a reference point in the city itself. So all the activities that are taking place, we try to be part of it. So the students will not only be part of the class, but we also be an active part of all the extra curriculum activities that ID is joining, is sponsoring. So there are tons of activities where the students will be, in first line to the participation. As I was telling you before, ID has different focuses, okay? So the main areas of interest of our courses in our school are this macro area, we can say. So arts and restoration, fashion, design, communication and management, visual arts and communication. As you can imagine, all those areas are quite different. They are, they can, from an external point of view, you can imagine that they're completely different worlds. But at the end of the day, they are very much in communication. So we can say that ID is definitely not a monotone kind of university. We do not specialize only on one specific field. And this should be seen as a strategic advantage. I will tell you why. Because nowadays, as you can imagine, the work environment is in constant evolution, no? And the fact that we also don't have anymore the luxury to focalize only on one specific field. We need to contextualize our studies in an evolving environment. So, for example, if you're studying design or fashion, you also need to understand how these two elements are interacting, for example, with communication and management, with visual arts. Because at the end of the day, for example, a company is not only made of one specific field, but actually is the collaboration and synergies and balance with different specializations within the same company. And this is exactly what we try to explain to the students. An example, a very simple example could be, a fashion brand, Gucci, an Italian fashion brand that wants to open, for example, a new boutique shop in Turkey, in this case. Of course, the project of creating a new boutique shop abroad is involving design for the creation of the boutique itself, communication and management, of course, because we want to communicate to our target clients that we are opening a new boutique shop. Visual arts and communication, for example, for the billboards, so all the communication the visual part of the communication side. So as you can see, one single action, one single project is leading to the collaboration and the communication of different departments. And this is basically what you will be doing inside our school. So meanwhile you will be studying one course, one specialization. You will also understand how your sector is communicating and is interacting. And how you will be doing that is through, for example, the special weeks. Special weeks are moment where all the lessons inside our undergraduate programs are closing, they're stopping for 1 week. We have the companies that are coming to our school, so representative of various companies. We divided the students in different groups, and we actually mix and match them. So we have, as we were saying, the representative of design, fashion, communication. So we have different representative of different specializations that are merging together and they are creating a group of work. The company is assigning a special project to them on Monday, for example, and then on Friday they need to present the project. So the students will understand, first of all, the commitment, the how to carry on a project, the collaboration, for example, the communication with also the other students, and also the final presentation. So all the important element in the work environment will be somehow adopted and will be learned. Meanwhile, you will be learning, for example, the topics of your classes. So, and this is something that not many institutions can say that they're adopting, no? And this, in my opinion, is one of the most important things, because once you will finish your course, you will be ready and you will be rotated somehow in preparation for the work environment. I want to stop a moment by informing you regarding the type of professor that we're having inside our school. The professor that we're having inside our school are professionists. They are people that are operating inside the field. They are having their own collaboration. Sometimes they're having their own companies, and they are putting at service of the students, their knowledge. And this is very, very rare sometimes, so instead of just teaching, they're mentoring the students, they're sharing their own experience, they are showing the path somehow with the students, no? And also we try to involve also leaders in the market, because we want to expose our students, so the intention is not only teaching, but is to create a network. And this is a very important aspect for the students, the idea of meanwhile they're studying, we see our students at the end of the day not only as a student, but as a young professionist. So we try to give them the right opportunity also to create a certain network. Talking about the network, I just want to talk briefly about our alumni network. So in all these years, you can imagine we managed to pull up hundreds of thousands of students that passed from our school, and nowadays they are forming what is called the alumni network. Students coming from virtually all over the world that are joining inside this platform, this network that we are having inside our school, And they are in constant communication. They are sharing their job opportunity. So is a hub where young professionals are exchanging their thoughts, their opportunities, and they are in constant communication. So at the end of the day, once you become an ID student, you will always be an ID student. Alumni. We have thousands of examples, but I just want to give you a couple of them. So first one can be Khadawali. Khadawali, she's an Egyptian student that who did actually the master in graphic design in our school in Florence. And now she managed to enter in the Forbes list as one of the top young graphic designers in the world. And she managed to do a beautiful speech at TED a couple of years ago. So, in short words, she's one of the reference point in the graphic world in all Middle East, but also in the world in general. Antonello Stornelli, another very bright example. And Antonello actually studied illustration and animation in our school, and now is one of the directors at Walt Disney in the United States. So, of course, I mean, very, very bright future for this student. Last but not least, Francesco Morano. Francesco Morano actually graduated a couple of years ago, and almost immediately after graduation, he managed to create a collection. The dress that you actually see on your right-hand side was actually worn by Beyoncé at the Grammy Awards in 2019. So one of the biggest achievement in a life career done just right after the graduation. So, I mean, at the end, I mean, as I was telling you, not everyone will become Francesco Murano or Hadawadi, but we will be promising you to give you the right tools, the right chance, the right opportunity to become one of them. Then of course it's up to you. So this is an important message that I would like to transfer to all the students. Once you start the university, please do not expect to live the life of the university at the same way as you were doing in high school. It's completely different. The university is a hub, as we were saying before, is full of opportunity, full of roads and doors to open. That once you open the door, there is a new world. So it's important for you to be very proactive. So you can live in general the university in two completely different ways. In a passive way, where you go just to the classes, you just do what is asked to do, or in an active way. The active way is exactly the opposite. The active way is a person that, aside from going to school and doing all the exams, is going beyond. Is taking the passion for what he's studying. Can be fashion, can be design, can be graphics, whatever you will be studying, and is living in reflection of that specific topic. So is going to the to the activities, is participating at all the shows, for example, that are taking place. As we were saying before, ID is very active in that sense. So all the students are most welcome to participate at a huge number of activities that we are promoting, that we are sponsoring, that we are participating. That should be the investment that you should do, once you start the university. And this is exactly what I was telling you before. So the intention and the willingness of ID to expose our students, for example, to all the fashion shows, to all the graduations, to all the international awards that we are participating. These are just some of them. So you can imagine how many point of touch for the international activities we can do every single year. And this is all dedicated to our students, because we want to expose the students. We want the students to use, for example, the name of our institution, which in this field is one of the most important in the world, and to use them at service of their future career. Regarding the academic offering, we are having courses in all the possible disciplines. So from the undergraduate programs in Italy, keep in mind that are 3 years. In Spain, we are talking about from 3 to 4 years. Foundation programs, so foundation programs are normally 1-year programs, and you can do a foundation for two main reasons. The first one is if you are still very indecisive and you're not sure on what would you like to do, we suggest a foundation program for this type of students, and the foundation will be giving you glimpse of all the subjects that we will be doing in our undergraduate programs. Another reason can be, for example, for all the students that are not, they don't have 12 years of school. So in case you have 11 years of school, you can do a foundation in order to reach the minimum level of requirements, which is 12 years of school. Postgraduate program. The postgraduate program, normally we are referring to the master program. Majority of the master programs in our institution are actually 1 year, full time. So this is another peculiarity that is actually different from many other institutions. Our masters are actually dedicated to the international community. Most of the undergraduate programs are taught in English, and also the target of the master programs is actually, I mean, more than 50% of the students that are doing our master are coming from abroad. So they're very international, and they are full-time. And we did that also for the international community to maximize the possible outcome. We have the summer program and the winter program, which are normally 3 weeks experience in a specific field. And for example, for the students that are in 11th grade, that are in 10th grade, we always suggest to do a summer course to as a sort of introduction, not just to the topic, to the subject, which can be fashion, can be design, but also to our school. So the methodology that we are adopting is adopted and is used in all the courses that you can see in front of you. So the summer is a very nice test for you to see if you can find yourself comfortable, if you like our methodology, and it's a soft opening to our reality. Semester and year abroad and continuing education program. But how to do the application in our course, in our school, is extremely easy. Of course, the first point is to choose the course. So this is one of the most important things that you should always take in consideration. Remember that we have a lot of campuses spread in Italy and in Spain, and a lot of courses. So once you choose the city and the course that you would like to take, of course, we will be orientating you. So you will be helped and assisted by one of our advisors, which are people that are trained and prepared to give you all the assistance that is needed. We actually give a lot of importance on this topic because to give the right orientation to a student can help the student making the right decision. So it's important for you guys to have all the information and not to be shy in asking things, okay? The admission process is a process that is completely done online. So we have this online portal where you can start uploading all the documents. You can, of course, collect the documents and complete the admission process. A lot of students are actually asking me if there is an entry test. We don't have an entry test normally in our school, especially for the undergraduate program. We have certain documentation and certain, certain things that are helping us to accept a student, for example, to complete the school, to have the 12 years of schools behind you, to have a language certificate. Let me explain you this. So our courses can be taught in Italian, can be taught in English, can be taught in Spanish. So, for example, if you're interested in a course taught in English, we normally ask our students to present a language certification. Normally, we are asking for a B2 level. of English. In case you are not in possess of this certification, please do not worry, because we have a program inside our admission process where we can have a language test meanwhile you're doing the admission process. Okay, so please do not. This shouldn't be stopping you from choosing the right course. We have also a lot of financial aid. This is another important factor. So the first one can be the scholarships. So we actually have every single year, we launch a special scholarship for the international students, okay? This scholarship is normally a contest that is launched on our website. Our website is id.edu. You can see on the bottom there. For example, for the 12th grade students that are listening now, the upcoming scholarship will be launched actually next month. So please try to orientate yourself, try to start asking the information to our school, and make sure that you are joining the scholarship competition. In case you win the scholarship competition, you will be awarded a special discount on the tuition fee. Regarding the visa, there is absolutely no problem, because once you complete your admission process, we will be sending you all the hard copy of the documentation, of the enrollment documentation at your home. And with those documents, you will be able to ask for the student visa at the embassy, both or Italian embassy or Spanish embassy, depending where you will be enrolling. The facilities. As we were talking before, we are trying to give all the right tools to the students. First of all, to develop their project, but also to understand and to practice all the professional tools that they will be using once they will start working. So from photography to the fashion to the design department, but also for the graphic world, we will be giving complete for free for the entire length of the course the Adobe package. So all the tools inside the Adobe package will be given for free to all the students. And of course, another point is, as we were talking before, the extra curriculum activities. These activities are very important for the students, and we always suggest the students to participate, because they can lead to, for example, special projects. The projects that you see in front of you is actually the result of certain projects that were carried out by our students. The packaging of Duracell that is done with recycled materials, and also the thematics. For example, nowadays, the world is talking about recycling, reusing things, the study of the waste material of the companies. So all these topics are very, very up to date, and we try to explain to the student what will be the future in this type of environment. I want to close my speech by showing you this slide, and I want to also explain to you the type of companies that we are working with. So as we were saying, the reputation of ID led to the collaboration of a lot of important companies, and we try to select the key players in the market, and we tell them to work with us, to collaborate with us, because at the end of the day is a mutual interest. Companies are looking for trained people and people that can work inside their companies, and we train them. So is a mutual interest for both us to introduce the students inside the work environment, and also for the companies to have trained and prepared people that will be working one day for them. How we can meet? This, for example, is a clear example. We are participating at a lot of international fairs, both virtual and physical. We are having a lot of open days. On our website, we will soon be launching the upcoming open day that we will be having. These open days are moments where we will be having presentation of the courses. You will have also the opportunity to have an introduction of the course made by the coordinators. So you will see, for example, how our school is operating. Of course, you will have some glimpse. Don't worry if you cannot travel, but the majority of our open days at the moment are virtual, so you can participate without any problem from home without any problem. Okay, so at this point, I am ending my presentation, and I would like to leave the floor to all possible questions that you might have. I would like to ask you, if not to be shy. Absolutely. I would like to invite you, of course, to our booth. You can find our booth. The name I remember you. The name of our school is ID. Istituto Europeo di Design. If you want to have some clarification, for example, on a specific course, absolutely no problem. We can have a chat. For example, I can send you the brochure. I can send you all the details. If you are interested in the scholarship competition, we can send you all the details about the scholarships and how to participate. Okay, regarding the tuition fees, I can give you all this information if you want, through the chat, or we can also video call. Okay, so at this point, I would like to thank all of you for participating, and I wish you, of course, a pleasant afternoon and a pleasant weekend to all of you. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon. I hope everyone is joining currently our live session about studies in the Czech Republic. While we're gathering, let me represent myself. My name is Angelina. I'm the representative of International Student Network, Prague. We are located exactly in the capital city and representing around 24 public universities here in our country, in the Czech Republic. Today, within our presentation, I would be glad to tell you in more details. And of course, if further on you will have any questions, it would be my pleasure to answer them. You can find me in the stand section of VEF exhibition, and we can chat additionally and privately about your particular case. If you are interested in studying in the Czech Republic, in Prague, or maybe some other city. Right now, I will share my screen with you and the presentation which was prepared for you. If you will give me a moment. Beg your pardon in advance. I'm not really a good Turkish language speaker, but for your convenience, we prepared the presentation in the Turkish language. So maybe for some of you who are not understanding me pretty well, you will be able to address to the slides of our presentation. So firstly, I would love to tell you that Czech Republic is located in the heart of Europe. This is why we have named our webinar the way it is. And basically, let me tell you a couple of pretty interesting facts from my point of view about the country itself. So, Czech Republic is currently recognized as the 8th safest country in the world. So, in case some parents are right now listening to me, maybe it could be quite good information in case you are planning to send your son or daughter for studies abroad to the Czech Republic. So this is one of the factors which might be very important once we're taking the decision of either to send your student, your kid to some of the countries, maybe within the European Union or outside of the European Union. By the way, yes, Czech Republic is one of the EU and Schengen zone countries. So once we're coming here, we will be enjoying free access to some other European countries as well in terms of traveling and some sightseeing and stuff like that, which we are currently organizing with our students who are already here studying. So during the weekends, we're visiting some other European countries, but I will tell about this a little bit later in more details. Additionally, if we go to the topic of education, studying in the Czech Republic is pretty affordable for many parents, for many families, and we will speak about the tuition fees, which are related to actually each particular university. In general, I could tell you in advance that it is possible to study here in the English language, and here is everything for studies in the English language. Tuition fees per academic year would be approximately 4,000 to 6,000 euros per academic year. But again, it depends on what we are planning to study, because we can find cheaper options as well as a little bit more expensive ones. Of course, if we will speak about studying medicine in the Czech Republic, as in any country, this is pretty costly, but still in our country, this is a bit more affordable than in some more Western European countries. Additionally, we have a benefit in the Czech Republic and the opportunity to study absolutely for free if we comply with one condition, which is we know Czech language, which is the national language here. Cannot tell you that many students do choose to study this language, but there are some brave girls and boys who do, who are focused. Even from Turkey this year, we have around I would say 10 students who have decided to learn the Czech language, focusing on studying for free afterwards. So you won't need to pay any additional like semestral fees or yearly fees, even small ones. So once you are accepted for studies in the Czech language, you do study absolutely for free without paying anything. Speaking about the country, what else can be attractive here? Well, it's absolutely beautiful, especially Prague city, which was recognized as one of the most beautiful European capital cities. The living conditions are ranked as 25th best within the world country rankings. So our country takes 25th position in this ranking. Additionally, if maybe some of you have heard something about happiness index, around the countries. So proudly can tell you that Czech Republic is ranked as 18th most happiest country, which is one position lower than the United Kingdom and one position higher than the United States of America. So as a result, people feel happier here than in the United States, just for you to consider this information. Yeah, and maybe many of you, as I've been communicating with some of the students or maybe some parents as well, were asking about some job opportunities. So in the Czech Republic, we have pretty low level of unemployment compared to many other European countries, which is great. So it is, I cannot super easy, but if the student is taking some actions, is interested, is looking for some career opportunities, it is also pretty not complicated to find a job position. For example, we had such cases of some students who managed to find the job in around 2 weeks after their arrival to the Czech Republic, which is, bravo to them, of course. Yeah, and many universities I will be telling you about today also guarantee employment straight after graduation. Normally, it is in the percentage from 80% to 100%. Plus, universities offer all the possibilities for the employment of the students here. And one peculiar fact is that, especially in the city of Prague, if you don't speak Czech language, you basically can samely successfully be accepted for some job position, because here are lots of international companies coming from the United States of America, from Germany, from United Kingdom, and so on and so forth, which do not even require the students or the graduates to be able to speak Czech language, which is, again, the advantage from my point of view. So if we look at the map, this is, as I was telling you, the country is located exactly in the middle of Europe, in its heart. In some, like stereotypical perception, it is known that Czech Republic might be located to something Eastern European, but it is exactly in the middle of Europe with its own very magnificent architecture and culture, which differs much from basic Slavic countries and maybe German countries, because as you can see on the map, we are having borders with Austria, Germany from the western side, and with Poland and Slovakia from the eastern side. So Prague and Czech Republic stands kind of on the crossroads of Western European culture and Eastern European culture, which creates its own unique atmosphere for foreigners, and foreigners are very, very much welcome here. Additionally, I would love to tell you that unlike Germany, in the Czech Republic, we don't have any superstitions from the point of view of hiring experts who are residing in the Czech Republic. So it is one of the advantages, again, in terms of looking for career opportunities here. So in case the employer is choosing between the experts living in Prague and the Czech citizen, they will always choose the smarter person, the one who will be doing the job better, the more ambitious one. So they will never have a look at like from which country the person is coming from. Then let us go straight to the university part. Today, I will tell you about top Prague universities and their rankings and so on and so forth. But in case you are interested in some of the universities which I was not mentioning, you can always tell me, firstly. And secondly, I believe that you can just type me in chat within the platform, and we can discuss some other university option, maybe about which you have heard from some social media or read on the internet or somehow ever else. Or maybe your friend is studying at this university right now. So let me go firstly for Prague University of Economics and Business, which is one of the top 50 best business European schools according to Financial Times ranking. This is very famous UK magazine. Maybe many of you have heard about it. So I believe we can trust this ranking pretty good. Speaking about this university, of course, studies here are only related to business, economics, and management, marketing, so all in the field of economics. The university is pretty modern, located in the city center of Prague, which is also the advantage. Plus, if we have a look at the annual tuition fee, from my point of view, it is pretty affordable, which is not very high, only 3,800 euros per academic year. Additionally, this university has a vast network of partnership connections with many United States, Canadian, UK universities, and the universities all over Europe, as well as some Turkish universities too. Which means that students, bachelor's or master's studying here, have the opportunity to do 1 semester or 2 semesters studying abroad at one of the partner universities. And of course, in this case of exchange student, they will be still paying the same tuition fee as they are paying to home university, which is Prague University of Economics and Business. This uni offers a range of bachelor's and master degree programs. Basically, the tuition fee is one and the same for all of them. And what is very interesting, those students who don't have any language certificates like IELTS, TOEFL, some of Cambridge certificates, can easily apply and be accepted to one of the bachelor's programs because there is no requirement to provide any language certificate. But of course, English language level will be tested via the Skype admission interview. So the student has to be ready to speak English pretty well, preferably at the level B2, be very confident, and be aware of his or her motivation for studies at this university. And without any certificate, once again, can be accepted to one of the bachelor's programs. If we go for master degree programs, of course, it's a little bit higher level of education. So here, in major cases, students will need to provide the language certificate, IELTS, TOEFL, or one of the Cambridge certificates. In case your let's say son or daughter, or if you're listening to us as a student or you yourself do not have any language certificate, we can also solve this problem with the help of our preparatory courses, which we provide in Prague and additionally on the basis of this university as well. Charles University, second one on the list for our speech today. This is one of the oldest European universities, which stands on the line with such unis as Oxford, Cambridge, Sorbonne, etc., etc. It was established almost 700 years ago. No, I didn't state it on the slide here, but it was established exactly in 1348 in the times of Roman Empire, so pretty long ago. The university is huge and located all over the Prague city. Also, it has some campuses outside the Prague city in some smaller cities, which are also not very far away from Prague itself. So in total, 17 faculties, which is huge, and this university can offer any direction of studies. It can be social studies, humanities, economics, computer sciences. Additionally, it can be anything related to some environmental studies too, plus medicine. Charles University is mainly popular and famous for teaching medicine in a very high level. And here at this university, you can find 5 faculties of medicine, plus 1 faculty of pharmacy. By the way, I'm very proud to say that we have this academic year a Turkish student who studying at the faculty of pharmacy. So we are wishing her good luck, and I hope she will succeed in her career. Speaking about the ranking of this university, as you can see here, it is pretty high. So the university is within 260th best in the world. About tuition fees, they differ. The cheapest program, which is basically Masters in Ecology, can be offered to the students for 1,300 euros. And if we go a little bit up, then maybe the most expensive program will be medicine at the first faculty of Charles University for 15,400 euros. But in average, if we take some standard program like economics or computer sciences, it would cost a student in average from around 4,000 to 6,000 euros to study at Charles University in English language. Or, of course, there is another opportunity, as usual, to learn the Czech language and study at this university, wonderful one, absolutely for free. One other university, which I would love to present and which is our partner, is Czech Technical University, located in Prague. One of the best engineering schools in Eastern Europe and Central Europe as well. Offers different study programs, starting with, let's say, engineering, any type. It can be civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical, power engineering, whatever. Plus has a very strong faculty of IT, information technology, offering also various fields of studies for students. So it can be, I don't know, computer security or simply computer sciences, etc., etc. There is a huge menu for students to choose from. Additionally, this university is pretty famous for studying architecture. We have, by the way, one Turkish student who got accepted, which is also great news, and one Turkish student accepted for IT bachelor studies at this university, successfully studying right now, as I can know, enjoying both studies and life in Prague so far. And by the way, this university exactly claims that 100% of graduates are employed straight after finishing this university studies, either bachelor's or master's levels. By the way, each university in the Czech Republic on regular basis offers job fairs for the students, where it's kind of the platform, I believe many of you are familiar with it, where students have the opportunity to meet with the potential employers, some companies which are offering internship positions with which they can start. These internships can be paid in major cases. In maybe like 70% of cases, they will be paid. Others, if you are unlucky, a little bit not successful, yes, you can start with the unpaid internship. But again, this is just the start for your career, and you will learn a lot from the partner companies cooperating with each particular university. By the way, if we speak about Czech Technical University, on the list there are lots of banks working with this university, looking for potential IT specialists, young ones, as well as many engineering companies, just like, for example, Porsche Engineering. For instance, I do remember a case of a student of ours who successfully graduated from a mechanical engineering bachelor degree program. She did the internship at the Porsche engineering branch here in Prague. And then in a couple of years, she got the full-time position at Porsche engineering, but already not in Prague, in Germany, so at the headquarters, which I can, consider and tell you as a success case, one of them. Tuition fees are stated on the slide, and as usual, in the average frame of prices. Then one more university I would love to share information about is Czech University of Life Sciences, which is located in Prague as well. I would say one of the cheapest universities here. If we speak about studying some environmentally related study programs like geographic information systems or environmental engineering or let's say tropical forestry, agroforestry, for some students who are interested, this would be in the price range from around 230 euros per academic year. This is not a joke, this is really cheap, but true fact, up to approximately 1,500 euros per academic year, which is pretty fine. Also, I know that this university is pretty popular among Turkish students who are looking for studies of business administration, economics and management, and informatics. These programs, both at bachelor's and master's levels, are provided by Faculty of Economics and Management, which belongs to this university exactly, and is not pretty expensive as well. So studies for those programs would be around 1,000 to 3,000 euros per academic year, depending on the level of studies and on the program as well. One peculiar feature about this university is that once you are planning to apply to any study program, no matter whether it is bachelor's level or master's level, you will not be required to provide any language certificate, which is a good situation. But on the other hand, again, the student will have to pass the admissions interview, either online or in person, depending where the student is located currently, either in Turkey or maybe due to some reasons already in Prague. So once you are passing this interview, you should be aware that the expected level of language spoken should be B2. In this case, we can guarantee acceptance to this university. Or minimum, sometimes B1 level is also accepted. But if the student can speak fluently, then it would be definitely an advantage for such an applicant. By the way, Czech University of Life Sciences is one of the only campus universities in Prague, which means that the university exactly has like a closed territory, I would say, and all the study buildings plus canteens plus sports facilities like swimming pools, basketball, football pitches, etc., as well as dormitories are located in the territory of this campus. So Czech University of Life Sciences is kind of a small city within the Prague city. It is green, very nice, with a good big territory, plus even having its own zoo. For some students, it's for entertainment. For other students, it's more for their experimental work and work with animals, etc., etc. Those ones who are studying some disciplines, some study programs which are related to environmental stuff. So this is pretty much it about the top Prague universities. Briefly, we'll tell you that in the Czech Republic, we also help students to be accepted to Masaryk University, quite popular one. It is located not in the Prague city, but in the southeast of the Czech Republic, in the second biggest city, which is called Brno. A little bit funny Czech name for the city, I know, but yeah, the big one with quite a high number of foreigners residing in that city, especially popular for American students. They somehow prefer to go study medicine there at some point. University is big, offering also many social studies, IT studies, medicine, economics, and so on and so forth. So actually, almost everything is on the menu. It is not stated on our slides, but we'll tell you that tuition fees there at that university range from 1,500 euros to 3,500 euros per academic year for studies in the English language. Would love to draw your attention to the process of how do we start the procedure with each particular student. So starting with November, the year preceding September intake, up to approximately March, April. So for this academic year, it will be from November 2021 up to March, April 2022. We are accepting applications for bachelor's and master degree studies at one of the Czech Republic universities, those ones that I have showed to you. And if you address to us individually and ask about some particular university you are interested in, we will be also able to help. Then, approximately in May, for this year, it will be May 2022, we pass the entrance exams, we finalize the admission process, and approximately in June, July, we start the visa application procedure, so that by September 2022, we come here to Prague or to some other Czech Republic city and university for studies face-to-face. By the way, thank God we return for face-to-face studies at schools, at universities, so students can be secure about this, because I know that many parents are asking like how studies are going to be combined, etc., etc. So from now on, from if I'm not mistaken, May 2021, Czech Republic universities returned to face-to-face studies. And right now, our students who are here in Prague, coming from Turkey, coming not only from Turkey, from some other countries like Japan or Egypt, Jordan, some Latin American countries like Brazil or Colombia, etc., they are exactly studying already face-to-face with the teachers in the classes. Speaking about the role of International Student Network, which I represent, we help the students together with Endless Abroad, which is our official representative in the Republic of Turkey, in many cities like Istanbul, Izmir, Antalya, etc. We help the students to make their admission process to the Czech Republic easier, because we are aware about all of the legalization procedures. We are aware about all of the visa procedures and what documents are required. So working with us and addressing to us to help you to get acceptance to one of the universities, it will be smoother, faster, easier, and with less problems once the student is doing the same situation on his or her own. Among our services that we provide, with each particular student, we start with consulting. Normally, it is done from Turkey at some point. So we are collecting the required documents. We tell the students all the conditions which are needed to be accepted to this or that study program. In case of some necessity, we help our students to improve their CVs, motivation letters, or some paperwork which has to be presented, like essays, or in case the interview is required. Additionally, we train our potential applicants to successfully pass this interview. So we meet with them face-to-face via Zoom or in person, again, depending where the student is located currently, in which situation the student is, and help them to increase their level of being accepted. So I'm pretty proud to say that major part of our students, up to let's say 90% of them, got accepted in the academic year 2021-2022, which started in September 2021. For studies at the chosen study program, they have decided at the beginning, in approximately March 2021, or even earlier, some of them earlier. Then afterwards, once admission procedure is finished and we are accepted for studies, we help the students to apply for visa, make the appointment, additionally nominate them for the fast-track special regime for visa, which gives them some sort of priority as well, checking their visa documents, and in case of some mistakes, of course, we correct them so that we do the visa application process as correctly as it is possible, right? And the main part starts when students come to Prague. So we are welcoming them, meeting them at the airport and bringing them to their place of stay, which can be the public dormitory or some other place. If the student is renting the apartment, somehow decided to do so, we can also provide the transportation services to the apartment. Later on, within the first week of their stay, we are doing our best to make them feel home. We are helping with the SIM cards, with the transport cards, with opening bank accounts, and trying to provide them as much as possible in terms of entertainment program. I mean, we are socializing our students, doing kind of meetings. For example, this year, not that long ago, we organized the international picnic for all of our students, because we are not only recruiting from Turkey, but from all over the world. We went to play bowling. We last, if I'm not mistaken, Sunday we organized the trip to Dresden, planning to organize some more trips like to Amsterdam, Rome, to some other very interesting UNESCO cities which are located in the Czech Republic, and be becoming friends with the students, I would say. By the way, maybe some of you think that Czech Republic is kind of not a popular destination, but if we have a look at the slide and the statistics which it represents, I can tell you that the major part of the international students for the Czech Republic universities come from Germany all of a sudden. Then the second position is given to France. On the first line, here stands United States of America. So with this ranking, you can see it that students will be integrated not only with the students coming outside of European Union, but in major cases exactly with the students who are coming from the European Union countries. And these students at some points become buddies or coordinators of our students. So it will be additional advantage for the applicants to the Czech Republic to practice their English language and to improve it, I mean, from the spoken side and maybe some slang part of it, which is also great. Here's the slide for you to have a look briefly at the visa requirements, which are not pretty complicated from my point of view. Students, many parents applying for Czech visa are asking about bank account, whether it has to be blocked or whether it has to be opened in the Czech Republic. Basically, nothing like that is required. We just request the financial statement, I mean the Czech embassy in Ankara or General Consulate of the Czech Republic in Istanbul, to show and to prove financial sustainability of the family of the student by providing just one paper showing how much money is it for now on the bank account which belongs to the student or to the parent, if the parent acts as a sponsor in this case. The account should come from the Republic of Turkey or any other country where the student or the parent has the account, just the main idea that this account belongs to the applicant or to the sponsor of the applicant. This is it. For some of you, maybe it would be an interesting point to answer the question of what we can do in case the student is not at the required level of English. From this point of view, we can help with a number of English language preparatory courses, which can last for 1 year in case the student is A2, A1 in English language, in order to improve the language proficiency of the student up to B2 level minimum, or maybe C1. Again, all the students are different, and some of them learn languages faster. Others do not do it that fast, but still within 1 year program, it is possible to bring the student up to the level B2. Additionally, on the menu of the foundation program, there is a bunch of elective classes which are intended to prepare the student for future bachelor's or master's studies. So let's imagine the student is interested in studying, let's say, engineering. In this case, we are telling the student in advance that to be successfully accepted, you need to provide B-level result in English, plus additionally, you need to pass the exam in mathematics. So for this particular student, the suitable elective class will be mathematics, and just to catch up with the first year of study so that it does not feel that complicated, we normally recommend to take physics as the elective classes. If it is the potential international business student, for instance, then here are lots of things to choose, like general economics, some sociology studies. Additionally, some programs would expect the second foreign language, not as the exam, but at the first year of studies, they will be studying the second foreign language, which can be German or French, Italian, etc., up to the choice of the student. So within this preparatory course, it will be an extra advantage for such a student to proceed further for the first year of bachelor or master studies, and so on and so forth. For instance, if we take into consideration a medicine student, then again, we have a bunch of opportunities from elective classes such as physics, chemistry, biology, basic human anatomy, which are provided by the best professors from Charles University in order to prepare the students for pretty complicated medicine exams, which Charles University requires. Those students who are a little bit more proficient in the English language and have the level of B1 approximately are welcome for 1 semester program. Normally 1 year program starts by September. each year. One semester program is launched starting with January each year. So right now, if you are thinking of applying to some study destination, you can choose English language one semester program and be welcome to Prague by January 2022 for studies. Additionally, would love to draw your attention to the same programs which we have, but in the Czech language. So we'll be honest with you, learning Czech language, you will need 1 year minimum of the intensive course, which is on the menu. If due to some reasons you as a student used to learn Czech language, though I think that would be a very exclusive case if we meet one in Turkey, then you can pick one semester option, but you need to be prepared to provide A2 level of Czech minimum. For 1 year Czech language course, no language requirements exist. So if you are total zero in Czech language, you can come and start studying it from scratch, having the aim to further study at bachelor's or master's level absolutely for free without paying anything. So quite often many students choose this pathway because they see it, and their parents also see it as the only investment into the education to learn the Czech language and then study without any tuition fees, paying nothing, just for accommodation in Prague, food, etc., etc. But be prepared, Czech language is pretty complicated. We also have a little bit cheaper programs, which do not include that much amount of hours. Very good classes of Czech language and additional of English language. By the way, speaking about English language studies, I would love to highlight the point that all of the classes are provided with the native speakers of English language as well as the Czech language. But if we speak about English language, it might be a little bit surprising. How do you guys can find some native speaker in Prague? Can tell you that for English language programs, we have a wonderful American professor, Mr. Edmund Grady, at this university, which is Czech University of Life Sciences. And in the first option, we have also a wonderful professor, one of them, who is Dana Middleton. So I guess according to the surname, you can fully understand that these are native British citizen and Native American citizen. Then let's discuss a little bit what can be happening during the studies and after the studies, because I know that some of the students were asking me if it is possible to work while studying. And the answer here is yes, absolutely possible, even if you are a foundation student. Foundation students is kind of a separate category of students because they are not degree students. They are not getting any diploma after finishing this foundation program. It's like preparatory pre-step before master's or bachelor's studies. So even being the foundation student and of course being master's or bachelor's student as well as PhD student at some point, we also have such cases from time to time, you can work part-time. Additionally, maybe at the last year of your bachelor's, master's, PhD studies, you can even change your visa type for the full-time work visa in case you are hired full-time. It's not prohibited at all. And then you will be able to be earning a little bit more compared to being the student working person, right? Also, for those ones who did not manage to find a job within the study period and so on, after graduation, each foreign student has 9 months having Czech diplomas, which is EU diploma, which is recognized all over the world, in the United States of America, in UK, in Canada, in Turkey as well, as well as many, many other countries. So for instance, if you finish bachelor's studies in the Czech Republic and then you want to go to Germany, for example, to proceed with your master's degree, it will be absolutely accepted, I mean the Czech diploma. So if you're graduated and you don't have any job, you have 9 months to stay in the country officially, legally, and be looking for job opportunities. Normally, this period of time is more than enough to find the job position at one of the companies in the Czech Republic. I also understand it pretty well that many of you would be interested to learn how much would I spend living in Prague or in the Czech Republic. I will tell you about the costs living in Prague, which is the capital city, just like one of the hugest city in the Turkey. It can be Istanbul, yeah. So capital city or financial center, it always should be the most expensive one to live in. So for the student living in Prague, the expenses would range from 350 euros up to 750 euros in average, including the cheapest option for accommodation that we can represent for 290 euros. By the way, if you're interested to see it in the live mode, I will show you pictures of accommodation right now. But if you are interested to see it in more, informal atmosphere, it is possible to address to me, and I will send you the pictures and videos from one of the rooms where our current Turkish student is living. Speaking about expenses for food, as you can see it, not really much. In total, a student would spend around 200, 300 euros for food. It would be the combined type of nutrition, as I would say it, when you cook in your dormitory or in the apartment you rent. And sometimes, of course, as any normal person, you go out and go to some cafe or McDonald's and so on and so forth. Best part of living in Czech Republic, in Prague, being a student, is transport expenses, which is only 5 euros a month for any student up to 26 years old. And you can be using a month without any limits, any type of public transport like tram or bus or metro, whatever you prefer. Additionally, here are some entertainment part of expenses if you are interested, and mobile services like most expensive tariff for student with unlimited data, unlimited calls, unlimited SMS, whatever, will be approximately 30 euros a month. This is the accommodation option of public dormitory I was promising to show to you. All the rooms are pretty clean, nice, light ones with a full set of furniture. Additionally, they have balconies, which is very nice, and especially if you're living at the upper floor, you can enjoy the Prague view, old town view of the city, and etc. etc. The room is for 2 people. It can be the female block or male block, and kitchen plus bathroom are shared with around 4 to 6 people more. So this is going to be the common area. That entertainment part I was telling you about. So here on the list, you can see what we start with to get acquainted with the student once he or she arrives to Prague. So it's various events in terms of getting acquainted, to learn more about each other, playing different games, etc., etc. Of course, when weather permits and pandemic permits. Well, being honest with you, in 2020 we couldn't realize much, unfortunately, because everything was prohibited. But this year we have more freedom, and students are enjoying. They are already traveling around Europe and learning more about the country. So on the list, in case the students are willing to, for the weekend, we are organizing the trips to countries abroad, like Spain, Italy, Netherlands, Ukraine, basically anything they wish to. These are just the examples. And as well, to identify them as ISN Prague students, each of them gets the special identity card, giving a number of bonuses and discounts, like for flight tickets or for traveling by bus tickets or for cinema discounts, and so on and so forth. Yep, so thank you a lot for your attention. In case you are interested, you have our website contacts and the website information of our representatives. And as I know, we have some time left. I will just delete this presentation from your view. And we'll tell you about some other opportunities that we have. For example, if you have a young daughter or son who is currently basically studying at high school yet, what we can offer is to come to our international summer or winter camp in Prague. We are organizing the winter camp here the program which is all included, food, accommodation, all entertainment part plus language classes. We are planning to celebrate Christmas all together here to give the opportunities, because I know it's not in the Turkish culture to celebrate Christmas, but this way they will be having this opportunity to enjoy it, to celebrate it together with ISM Prague, to cook the famous, Christmas turkey, and decorate the Christmas tree, and to go to one of the cities in the Czech Republic to play snowballs and to sledge and have lots of other fun. We are inviting your sons and daughters, or if you are listening to us and you're at the age of approximately up to 23 years old, to come to the Czech Republic for the winter experience and enjoy it together with the students coming from Jordan, from Saudi Arabia, from Spain, France, Belgium, and Latin America. So it will be a very nice international mix. As well as, if you wish, you can think about the same possibility during the summer period, starting with mid-June up to the end of August. And if you don't mind, I know that we have 5 minutes left. I would just love to share with you our summer experience in a small video. Just 1 second, it's not working properly. I guess I will be able to share it with you. Couple of seconds, please.
It took me time to realize and admit that I wish I could have turned around before the might be real hard to find my way now that the and now I'm running out of time. Come kiss me. Get around your love before it kills me. I make a sound so fine. Can you feel me? I'm gonna cry. You know I try 'cause I can make it. Hear a bang, the pump so loud, come on, hit me. You got me hanging upside down and breaking. I wish I could have turned around before the might be real hard to find my way now that the
students. With the muted.
I don't know. All I do. She got me hanging upside down and breaking. I wish I could turn around before the might be real hard to find my way down that
with us. I hope you will be enjoying pretty same emotions. And I will thank you a lot for your time, because we're running out of it. So if any questions, please let me know in the chat on the exhibition stand of VEF. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Wallace. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you all can see my presentation that I'm going to provide to you today. Okay, so let's get this up here. Hopefully everyone can see what's going on. Okay, so again, my name is Thomas Wallace, and I am an international student counselor at Tulsa Community College. Hold on one moment, I have a little bit of technical difficulty. Here we go. And I am here to talk with you a little bit about community college in the United States, and specifically our school, Tulsa Community College. So I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good day so far. I'm going to just start out a little bit about sharing with you a little bit about what a community college in the United States is, if you may be a little unfamiliar. When you think about higher education in the United States, most people probably think about four-year institutions that are research-based, those universities that are well-known, like Harvard and Princeton, Yale, Columbia, Northwestern, Ohio State University, all of these universities that are traditional four-year research universities. And they offer bachelor's degrees, graduate degrees, and doctoral degrees. But a community college is a little different from what you may think of when you think of higher education. And one of the biggest differences is that a community college is a two-year institution. So that means we offer what is called an associate's degree. And it's typically those first 2 years of a United States bachelor's degree. So those 4-year degrees offered by universities. And associate's degrees typically take 2 years, 2 to 3 years, but about 60 credit hours of work goes into one of those degrees. For a community college, the focus is a little different than what you would find at a university in the United States. Our focus is typically on equitable and affordable education. And it kind of comes with the name, community. So the focus of a community college is the community that it is in. So for example, I am in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and our college is Tulsa Community College. And we serve the needs of our county and the region around Tulsa. Those are the people that we work to provide education and services to. We work to meet the needs of our community, and that can mean a lot of different things. So that can mean providing education that's close by to where people live, accessible education. It can mean providing degrees that are needed in the workforce and by companies in the city that we're in. So we tailor the degrees that we offer to the city and the region that we are in, but they can be transferred to anywhere within the United States, and those skills can be used around the world. And so when students complete their work at a community college, they typically will do one of two things. So they may transfer to one of those four-year universities, which means they take the 2 years or the 60 credit hours that they earned at a community college, transfer it over to a university, and use those same hours to complete their four-year degree. So once they're done at a school like TCC, they will move over to their university and complete the second 2 years of a bachelor's degree. They don't have to go back and retake classes. Those first 2 years are already done. Once they get to the university, they can get that bachelor's degree in just 2 years. Or students will enter the workforce. So we have a lot of students who go to school at TCC and in health programs. So in public health. So they do jobs like nursing or radiological tech, or we have engineers that go straight into the workforce, or our performing arts students. They may go straight into the workforce and outside of Tulsa and across the United States. So those are kind of the two options that you may have. I'm going to play a video for you right quick. All right, thank you for letting me share that with you. Some of you may be wondering, I've talked a little bit about Tulsa Community College and where we are at. Our institution is located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So if you don't know where Oklahoma is, which a lot of you may not, we're this red state right here, kind of in the center of the United States. So if you are familiar with the US, you've got California over here, New York, Florida, and Texas. This big state here is Texas, and we are just to the north of that. So within the state of Oklahoma, uh, this is the kind of a map of Oklahoma, and right here is Tulsa County. So that is where Tulsa is located. Our metropolitan area is right there in the middle of that county. So I'll share a little bit about Tulsa and where I'm at right now. That picture there is downtown Tulsa, and our city is located on Native American land. So it's a very large city, has a large footprint, but our city is on the land of the Muskogee Creek Nation, the Cherokee Nation, and Osage Nation, who were all here before the city was founded in the early 1900s. Tulsa has just over 1 million people in our metropolitan area, so we're one of the top 50 largest cities in the United States, but we're still a fairly small city when it comes to all of the headaches you would normally have. We don't have a lot of traffic problems. You can get wherever you want within probably 20 minutes inside the city, but we have a large community that is made up of 60,000 plus immigrants. So each year, more and more people come to Tulsa from around the world to make it their home. And there are some unique things about our city, and that we have a lot of focus on the arts and music, and there's a philanthropic spirit here. So many of our local and public institutions and our museums, our Philharmonic, the opera, all of those things have funding that's provided to them through philanthropists that made their money in oil, which is what Tulsa was kind of based on for a long time. So those families, the Kaiser family, the Schusterman family, they donate to those to the arts and music and all kinds of other things. But they also provide a lot of money for education. So Tulsa Community College benefits from that as well. They donate money to provide student services, to endow faculty and create faculty chairs for them, and then also to provide scholarships. So a lot of our students will benefit from that philanthropic spirit here in Tulsa. Then just a little bit about Tulsa Community College and who we are. That picture there is our Metro campus, which is in downtown Tulsa. That was our first campus that was founded back in 1970. We just celebrated our 50-year anniversary last year amid the pandemic, so it wasn't quite as big a celebration as we had hoped, but we still celebrated. We serve about 23,000 students every year. So that's a pretty large population. It's the third largest at any institution of higher ed in the state of Oklahoma. And we have students here from over 65 countries. So it's a very international community. And it's a great place to call home for those students from around the world. And they can take classes at one of our 4 campuses. So Tulsa's very spread out when it comes to the size of a city with 1 million people in it. So we have 4 campuses that serve the area that the campuses are in. So whether that's the north, west, downtown, or southern side of our city, they all have campuses that provide education for those students in that area. And we offer over 120 degree programs. So those programs are very diverse too in what they can offer. So I mentioned the allied health programs like nursing and radiography, but we also have engineering, fire protection management, performing arts, music, theater, English. We also have a program that is an English as a second language program. So if you are looking to learn English or to improve your English, you can actually come to Tulsa Community College and participate in that program fully as an international student. They have classes that can meet you wherever you are at, whether you're beginning and just starting your English language training, or you are further along and maybe you just need a little bit extra before you start into your college level classes and earning a degree. But one of the best things about community colleges in general, and especially at TCC, is smaller class sizes, which allows faculty to really focus on the student. So on average, our classes have about 17 students in them. So you get a really one-on-one personal relationship with your faculty and your professors that helps you to learn and helps to meet your needs as a learner while you pursue your education. So my role at the college is within the International Student Services Office. And we provide quite a few services for all of our students. And you'll see International Student Services offices at community colleges around the country in the United States. But our office, we offer guidance to students from when they first apply or are looking to go to school, all the way until they graduate, and then past graduation and beyond into their careers and into the universities that they go to after our community college education. So we assist with the U.S. immigration process. Part of that is providing documentation, helping you and coaching you through what it will be like to obtain a visa to come to the United States, and entering the U.S., and then all the way through whenever you are applying for work authorizations once you graduate, to maybe work for a year after you complete your degree. Those are all things we do that assist with immigration. We also help with adjustment to life in the U.S. When you're an international student, you're going to a new place, and it's a big decision and a big change, but our office is here to help you get adjusted to life in the United States and life in Oklahoma, which is a very unique place within the United States. And we also support all international students at TCC. It's not just those students that come here on an F1 student visa. We support all international students, whether they have gotten a green card or a permanent resident card and are on their way to becoming a citizen in the United States, if they're a refugee, if they are here on asylum. We also help students that may be undocumented and no longer have a legal presence in the United States. We provide services to help all of those students that are international here. And one of the most important things we do, and that is done at all community colleges and throughout TCC, is connection to resources, making sure students have what they need to meet their goal. So my specific role is for student life, and that just means a student's life outside of the classroom when they're not studying or not in school. So that could be connection with peers, so meeting other international students, helping to provide them a network. I teach a class of orientation in the first semester that our students are here in the US that helps them to learn about the US, but also learn about the other cultures and countries that are represented within the international community here. So we set them up with that network of peers to support them. But we also connect them with faculty. So making sure that our international students are in classrooms that the faculty are really international themselves, that they value the global side of education. And that's very important at TCC. And we want to connect our students with faculty that'll help support them. I also do leadership development, helping students step out of their comfort zone, maybe develop some leadership skills through our True Blue Lead program, where they get training that they will need to move into the workforce after they get their degree. I also help with work authorization. So if a student, while they're studying, wants to work on campus, I help with that. Or after they complete their degree, I help them with the authorization from the US government to work for 1 year within the degree field that they got their degree in. So whatever your major is, if you get a nursing degree, you can potentially work in the United States while still on an F1 visa after you graduate, and I can help with that process. I also help students secure health insurance. So you probably have heard that medical care in the United States is not the best as far as affordability goes. It's very costly. So it's important that students have health insurance. And then even whenever a student may be working, they may be working on campus, they have to file taxes in the US, I assist them with that. So there's all of these things that we do in the International Student Services Office that really encompasses everything an international student may need. So for community colleges, one of the most important things is focusing on student success. We don't have research as part of our mandate. So where you see big four-year universities across the US, a lot of their work is in research and development. And that is not something community colleges do as part of their missions typically in the United States. Our focus is on student success. And TCC was actually named #1 in student success for the year 2021. We recently given this award by the American Association of Community Colleges for all of our hard work in putting students on pathways to where they can be successful with their degrees. And it very much recognizes our mission to provide that quality and affordable education, which is part of the community college experience. So some of the ways that community colleges in the United States prioritize student success is by managing faculty expectations, by providing comprehensive student services, valuing student backgrounds, so honoring where a student is from, what their experiences are, and who they are is very important to a student's success. Making sure students are engaged, that's part of student success, making sure they feel like they're a part of the community. And we always remember that everyone can learn. Everyone can get an education. And our goal is to remove any barriers that are in the student's way to help them get the education and meet the goals that they have. So some of the ways we prioritize student success is through faculty expectations. So making sure that our professors and our faculty members know how to connect students with the support services that they need. So every student is different. We all learn differently. We have different ways that we may take in information, and it's important that our faculty know how to address the needs of every student. So our faculty go through extensive training and continuing education to help them be able to know how to connect students to the support services they need. Another part of that is the student-professional education, or per student and professor educational relationship. So making sure faculty are connecting with students and giving them time inside and outside the classroom to make sure that they understand what they're learning and make sure that they're providing that extra time that a student may need. That one-on-one relationship is one of the most important parts of a community college education. And faculty are able to do this and really focus on students because they're not required to do research. A lot of faculty at research institutions and four-year universities are required as part of their contract to do research that has nothing to do with the classroom. So our faculty don't do that. They can do it on their own. A lot of them publish their research, but it's not part of their job expectations. So they're doing it on their own because it's something they love to do and love to learn. They're not getting paid to do it. So what they're getting paid to do and what as students are paying them to do is to teach them, and that's what they focus on. And part of that expectation for student success is engaged learning. So engaged learning is a second level than just what's written in a textbook or in a lab manual. So that engaged learning is something like maybe service learning. So providing community service to the area TCC is in. So giving back, that's part of our engaged learning process, making sure students are actively a part of our community. Another way would be global education. We have global learning that falls under this umbrella of engaged learning. So making sure that global perspectives are built into the curriculum and giving students perspectives that are not just what we have here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll share a little bit more about how we do that later on. So that focus on student success is really bolstered by comprehensive student support services. So what that means is that all of our students, every single student, if you decide to come to TCC,
will have access to full-time professional staff support. So we have professionals throughout the college, like myself, that are here to support students' needs. So one of those would be our academic advisors. So an academic advisor is someone who specializes in your degree that you are pursuing, that understands what's required to earn that degree, and helps you plan for your time while you're here at TCC, helps you pick out your classes, helps you find professors that will support you the best, and helps you navigate all of that from the point that you enter TCC all the way until your graduation. Those academic advisors are very knowledgeable and professionals who have earned degrees themselves to help them better support students as advisors. Another role at the college that would be part of this comprehensive student support service are our success coaches. So in addition to an academic advisor, you have an assigned success coach. And so these success coaches are professionals that help students connect to resources that they need. And maybe it's that you are facing some issues with paying bills, or you're facing issues, personal issues, and you have things going on in your personal life outside of the classroom. These success coaches are here to help you figure out how to manage those, how to manage your time, how to better take notes. All of these things are things that the success coaches can do, both in the classroom and outside the classroom. They can help you with those things. And another role that we have, and is very, very common for community colleges, having career specialists. So we have people that work full-time at the college who specialize in helping students get prepared to enter the workforce, get a job, and be employed after they get their degree. So what that means is they have connections with employers. So whether that's a local employer or a national employer or an international employer, our career specialists will know what jobs are out there and available for very specific degrees. So if you're majoring in nursing, they'll have connections to hospitals and organizations that employ nurses. They'll help you find those jobs and help you apply for them when you're about to graduate. But other things they do, they help with students developing their resume or your CV. So help you make sure you have an effective and communicative resume, so when you're applying for jobs, you'll be able to just have that ready to go. They can help with cover letters, but another thing they do is provide this service that would be for when you're job searching, and it allows for mock interviews. So they will bring a student in. If you would like to do this, you can set up an appointment with these career specialists to go through an interview. So maybe practice your interviewing skills. If you get nervous, or if you've never done an interview before, you can meet with a career specialist to go through a practice interview multiple times if you would like to just practice those skills before you go out searching for a job. And finally, one thing that has come from the COVID-19 pandemic is that we've gone virtual. I'm speaking to you virtually now, but our virtual support also has happened at the schools. So all of these academic advisors, success coaches, and career specialists can be accessed virtually. So you can meet with these people where you are. You can meet them from home. If you have a busy schedule and you're busy studying and you're busy in class, you can take a break time and just get on a computer and meet with them virtually. So those are some of the comprehensive student support services we offer and are very common at community colleges. Another part of this is health and wellness. So part of our support staff are focused on the health and wellness of our students, because we can educate students, and have them in classrooms, participating in lectures, participating in group projects, going through the paces of an academic degree. But if they are not taking care of themselves physically and mentally, then they may not be successful. So we have fitness centers on every campus that students can access without any additional charge. They have weight training facilities, fitness classes. A lot of those can be done virtually as well from home, as well as at our fitness centers. Rock climbing walls, indoor running tracks, those are all things that are offered at Tulsa Community College to help students with their physical health. And a little part of the mental health part of support services is we have professional counselors. So licensed professional counselors are available to our students to help them if they're dealing with mental health concerns. So if they're going through depression or stress or anxiety, students can talk with our licensed professional counselors, and it's completely confidential. It cannot be shared with anyone outside of the room with the person you're talking with. So it's a great resource for students to help manage their lives outside of the classroom and inside the classroom. And if for some reason a student can't, if we're not in business hours or it's middle of the night, we have services that students can call at any hour of the night or any day of the week and get support if they're in crisis. So they can call or even text with those support services to help if they're in a mental health crisis. And part of the investment that we have done for our students is allowing students to also offer their own support to each other. So we have a peer mental health program that allows students to get a scholarship to do programming and to offer services to their peers to make sure that all the needs are being met. So all of these professional support staff may not know exactly what a student needs. So it's important we listen to the students, which is why we have groups like the Peer Mental Health Program to talk about mental health. We have an international student organization that allows our international students to make sure their voice is being heard, and they can tell me what services they may need and where we are lacking so we can make sure we can help them. So another portion of our comprehensive student support services you may find at a community college, and you definitely will at TCC, are tutoring services. And at TCC, there's no additional charge for these tutoring services. We have a writing center where students can go whenever they're writing a research paper or putting it together a lab report for a biology class or a chemistry class. They can take those writing assignments to our specialized tutoring support in the writing center, and they'll help them fix any problems they may have before they turn it in to their professor. We have a science and math lab on all of our campuses that provides in-person tutoring for engineering students, for those allied health students that are in nursing or radiography, or those students that may be going and taking physics. All of those classes can be very difficult. So we have a science and math lab available that provides both in-person and online virtual tutoring without any extra charge. We have language labs on our campuses that allow students who are learning another language other than their native language, and it helps them to have a space to practice that language with other people who are also studying that language. So those are available. We also have virtual tutoring. So if the writing center, the science and math lab, or language lab isn't available, then you can also talk to someone virtually online at any time of day or night and any day of the week. You can text or call or set up appointments with virtual tutors without any additional charge again. And that's provided to all of our students. So it's very comprehensive in the support that our students need. And I wish I had had these things when I attended and got my degree at a four-year institution when I was going to school. I would have definitely used these, and it would have helped me be more successful if I had all of these available to me. I'm going to kind of wrap up this comprehensive student support part, but part of that is also accessibility resources. So we have an entire office of 20 plus people that work to provide accommodation and serve as advocates for students with disabilities. So if you have a disability or you have a specific learning style that you need help with, we have an office that can support that. And we have gone a step further at Tulsa Community College. We have a resource center for the deaf and hard of hearing. So we have specialized interpreters, captioning services, specialized tutoring. We have academic counselors that are specifically trained and to help to work with the community that are deaf and hard of hearing. And that is often supported because we have an American Sign Language program here that trains people to interpret sign language. So that's a very specialized thing that we offer. So we hope that we can provide that to all of our students. So touching back to our how a community college focuses on student success is that we value each student's experience. Your socioeconomic background, your family background, your religious background, where you are from in the world, that is all valuable and a valuable part of who you are, and it shapes how you will be a student, and it shapes how you'll learn. So it's important we honor that. And so we value each student's experience and want to make sure we meet you and provide all the sources, provide all of the services you need to remove any barriers for you to be successful. So one of the ways we have worked to kind of engage students and bring their experience into the classroom is through the Academic Cultural Exchange Program. It's a program that brings international students into classrooms that they may not be enrolled in the class, but they go into a classroom and share their experience and their view on what a student is learning. So if it's a literature class, this class may be reading a certain book, and the class may be full of students just from Oklahoma. So we bring in international students, and they share their experience and how they view what they're reading and what the themes of the book is. Or if you can kind of see in this picture here, you have the 3 international students here in the foreground. It's one of our training dummies or training resources there in the back in the bed for our respiratory care program. So a lot of you may be more familiar with respiratory care due to the pandemic. We train at TCC health professionals to go out and work as respiratory care specialists. So those people that have had to go on ventilators because of COVID-19, the people that administer that are respiratory care professionals, specialists. And we train them at TCC. And that picture there is one of our classes for respiratory care where we brought international students into the classroom. A couple of them only, for part of the experience, they only spoke their native language to each other. So they had to, the students in the class who are training to be respiratory care specialists had to work with them despite them speaking a different language, because that happens in healthcare. You may not have an interpreter for whatever language is there when you go into a hospital. So TCC works to train our students on cultural competency and how to engage with people who may not speak the same language or be from a different world area. And that really helps the Tulsa area and our healthcare here to be more welcoming and to be able to serve people from around the world and serve our immigrant community. So these students acted and kind of pretended as if they were doing this. And the student that's standing was able to kind of practice her training on students as well. It's faculty driven. Our professors love this opportunity to bring international students into the classroom. They are our student leaders. So these 3 students sitting in the foreground are some of our most experienced student leaders that have volunteered their time to go in and share their experience and share their culture and their backgrounds with a classroom of people they may not have known. This really helps TCC create a space for welcoming people from around the world. The more that we do this, the more our students from Oklahoma who may have never left Tulsa really learn about the world and meet people from different areas and different backgrounds. It's a really great experience, but it's part of how we value each student's experience at TCC. So I'm kind of moving into the end of my presentation, but I want to make sure to share with you how to apply to TCC. We do have a booth in the fair, so you can stop by and talk with me after the presentation, and I'll be there to talk with you if you have any questions about TCC and maybe want to apply. But the application process is fairly simple. There's just 2 steps to apply to TCC and be admitted, and that first step is the online application. You go online to our website, tulsacc.edu, and you'll fill out biographical information. So your academic background, your biographical information, a little bit about yourself in that application. Once you submit that, then you'll get an admission decision within about 2 weeks. It's pretty quick. And there's no application fee. You can apply free of charge to TCC. I do want to note right here, this picture that you see is a few of our international student leaders. That was here on campus. We hosted a naturalization ceremony where about 60 people were becoming US citizens, and our international students spoke at the ceremony to welcome them to TCC and just to provide some leadership on campus. So that's a few of our students there. Before I move on to the second step of the application, I want to mention we do have an international student organization. You can look there at the bottom at facebook.com/groups/TCCISO. You can see what we do, and if you want to become a member of the group before you become a TCC student, you can see and kind of engage with our students. So that's step 2 of our application process is the I-20 application. So an I-20 is a document that's issued by us, by a college in the United States or a university in the United States, on behalf of the Department of Homeland Security in the United States. You use that form I-20 once you've gone through the process to get your visa. So we issue that I-20 after you filled out the packet. There is a checklist in our packet that has all the documents you need and that are required to apply. So you can kind of use that checklist to go through the process of getting an I-20 and coming to the US on a visa. You can find that application packet on our International Student Services website. It's just tulsacc.edu/ISS. And you go there and then you go into step 1 and there'll be a download option there where you can pull up the packet. You'll fill out the packet electronically on your computer and then email it to us at iss@tulsacc.edu. Once we have all the required documents and your application is submitted, it only takes us about 2 days to reply to you and create your I-20. So we're really within the window for our next semester. Well, our next semester will start in January of 2022. So we can still help you apply, get admitted, and come to Tulsa just to start classes in January. So we're in that time frame right now where we can do that for you. So after the application, you will receive your I-20. We can mail it to you, and you'll use that to go to your visa appointment. So the advice we have is to consult with your U.S. embassy or consulate in your country that's nearest to you. Every consulate and embassy is different right now. So visa wait times vary by country. So some countries, it may just be a day or two to get a student visa appointment. It may be a year. It depends on where you're at. Hopefully you're not in one of those places with a year. But it's important to check with the visa wait times online. But if it says emergency appointments on a U.S. embassy or consulate website only, if it says emergency appointments only, student visas are included in that. So you can still sign up for a student visa appointment interview if it says emergency appointments only. So that's a great thing to remember. And then once you've got your visa, you'll just travel to Tulsa and join us here. Our office is set up to help all those students as you travel to the U.S. We have emergency contact information that's 24/7, all day and all night. That if you're crossing the border coming to the U.S. on a visa, we are available to assist you if you run into any problems at the border or going through customs. So that's a service we provide in our office. And then once you're here, we can help you find housing, get set up with health insurance, figuring out how to get a driver's license and buy a car. Our office provides all of those to help you get through the process of living in the U.S. Do want to share one last video with you really quick. That was just a few of our students here at TCC and making sure you understand that message that you belong here and you belong at TCC. So if you feel like you want to come here, we'll be happy to help you. If you have any questions, like I said earlier, you can visit me at our booth within the virtual fair, or you can take a snapshot of this and you can email me at thomas.wallace@tulsacc.edu. You can call me at 918-595-7533, or you can go to our website, which is tulsacc.edu/ISS. And we actually have a virtual office hours there where during the week from 9 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. in Central Standard Time, you can get on Zoom and talk to us one-on-one, and we can have a virtual appointment with you. You can find that link on our website. So that's all I have. I appreciate all of you and all of your time. And I hope I can see you at our virtual fair or talk to you at our virtual fair booth or talk to you via email or on Zoom. Thank you all very much.
Herkese merhabalar. VEF Global Yurtdışı Eğitim Online fuarlarında umarım hepimiz verimli bir 2 gün geçirmişizdir. Öncelikle fuarlarımıza olan 2 haftadır yoğun hem VEF Global hem Türkiye fuarlarımıza göstermiş olduğunuz yoğun katılımdan dolayı hepinize çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Bugün aslında biraz daha bu seminerin konusu Avustralya'da eğitim olacaktı. Ama fuarın aynı zamanda partner acentası Endless Abroad Yurtdışı Eğitim olarak bu session'ı biraz daha COVID-19 sonrası güncel seyahat durumları ve ülkelerin genel ülkeye giriş koşulları ve genel olarak eğitim durumları, okulların yüz yüze eğitime açık olup olmamaları, genel fiyat ve promosyonları ile alakalı bir yayın şeklinde geçirmeye karar verdik. Özellikle fuar boyunca katılımcılarla olan diyaloglarınız, chatlerde yazışmalarınız, videolu görüşmelerinizden anlamış olduk ki aslında birçoğunuz bu tarz etkinlikleri oldukça özlemişsiniz. Tıpkı bizler gibi. Bizler de açıkçası özellikle son 2 haftadır sizlerle online de olsa bir araya gelmekten oldukça mutluyduk. Türkiye içerisinde Endless Abroad Yurtdışı Eğitim'in 18 farklı lokasyonda şubesi bulunuyor. 18 farklı şubemiz de bu 2 hafta boyunca online olarak aslında stand başında sizlere destek olmak için hazırda bekliyordu. Bu fuar sonrasında da aynı zamanda tüm yurtdışı eğitime dair sorularınız, detaylı bilgi alma talebiniz için yüz yüze görüşmeleri, randevulu organize etmek adına biz sizlerden haber bekliyor olacağız. Genel olarak baktığımız zaman Mart 2020'den beri hepimizi zorlayan, dönem dönem acaba yurt dışına çıkmak artık bir hayal mi olacak dediğimiz zorlu sürecin artık sonuna geldiğimize inanıyoruz. Yayınımızın aslında güncel konusu olan Avustralya'da eğitimle alakalı da ben hem genel bilgiler vermek istiyorum sizlere hem de kısa kısa ana dili İngilizce olan biraz daha yoğunlukta ülkelerle alakalı en son güncel bilgileri paylaşmak istiyorum. Sizlerin de özellikle sormak istediğiniz bir sorunuz olursa lütfen bizimle chat kısmından paylaşın. Arkadaşlarım, reji ekibi bana yönlendiriyor olacaklar ve burada kısa bir soru cevap yapma imkanımız da olacak. Avustralya'da eğitim biliyorsunuz ki uzun zamandır aslında Türkiye'den çok fazla öğrencinin tercih ettiği bir lokasyondu. Mart 2020 yılına kadar aslında çok yoğun bir tempo ile çalıştığımız, öğrenci memnuniyetinin yüksek olduğu ve eğitim imkanları olarak da birçok fırsatın bulunduğu bir ülkeydi. Mart 2020 akabinde tabii ki bütün ülkelerin sınırlarını kapatmasıyla beraber Avustralya da yine aynı önlemleri aldı. Fakat görece diğer ülkelere göre biraz daha geç önlemleri gevşetme gibi bir yola gittiler. Fakat güzel haberlerim var. Özellikle Avustralya'yı bekleyen öğrenciler için. Kasım itibariyle aslında Cumhurbaşkanlarının yaptığı açıklamadan da yola çıkarak tabii ki bu görece yorumları yapabiliyoruz. Toplumda %80 aşılama oranına gelindiği andan itibaren önce kendi vatandaşlarına, daha sonrasında da yeni yılla beraber artık uluslararası öğrencilere de kapısını açacak Avustralya. Avustralya'nın aslında en büyük avantajı öğrencilere öğrenci vize statüsünde 5 sene boyunca eğitimlerine devam etme imkanı veriyor olmasıydı. Ve tabii ki Türkiye'deki Work and Study öğrencilerini ilgilendiren, özellikle dil eğitimiyle beraber yani 90 günün üzerinde eğitim almak istediğinizde dil eğitimlerinden itibaren de haftada 20 saat part-time çalışma izni veren bir ülkeydi. Bunun yanı sıra Endless Abroad Yurtdışı Eğitim Danışmanlığı olarak bizler yine Avustralya'da yüksek öğrenim konusunda destek verebiliyoruz. Özellikle fuar alanı içerisinde standları ziyaret ettiyseniz, Kaplan Business School'unda bu alanda oldukça geniş bir yelpazede eğitim verdiğini görüyor olacaksınız. Kaplan ismini özellikle Türkiye'deki öğrenciler dil eğitimi kısmında oldukça fazla biliyorlar. Business School tarafıysa dil okulu tarafının aslında çok da farklı yönetilmeyen ama yine de kendi içerisinde işletme alanlarında pazarlamadan dijital marketinge, liderlikten muhasebeye kadar birçok alanda hem lisans hem diploma hem de MBA programları sunan oldukça Avustralya içerisinde prestiji yüksek bir eğitim kurumu. Bildiğiniz gibi Avustralya'da yüksek öğrenim programları biraz daha görece yüksek fiyatlı olmasıyla biliniyor. Fakat yine Kaplan Business School'un sunduğu Türkiye bölgesine özel bir %20 bursları var. Daha fazla bilgi almak isteyen öğrencileri, fuarımız hala daha devam ediyor çünkü. Okulun resmi temsilcisi şu anda stand başında sorularını yanıtlamak üzere bekliyor. Seminerimiz ardından hızlıca oraya giderek yine detaylı bilgi alabilirsiniz. Ama ben Avustralya ile alakalı özellikle öğrenci yollamayı özleyen bir yurtdışı eğitim danışmanı olarak bu güncel ve güzel bilgileri de sizlerle paylaşmak istedim. Bunun yanı sıra en çok soru aldığımız alanlardan biri de uçuş konusunda, şu anda vize alma konusunda engeli olan bir ülke kaldı mı? Avustralya vize başvuruları zaten halihazırda 2021 Ocak ayı itibariyle açıktı. Dolayısıyla da Ocak ayını düşünerek şu anda Ocak ayı varışlı bir planlama yapacak olursak veya bahar dönemi intake'lerini hedefe alacak şekilde bir yüksek öğrenim programı, bir lisans programı, bir yüksek lisans programı hedeflemesi yapıyorsak rahatlıkla aslında vize başvurumuzu yapıp sonucu bekleyip ancak barışımızı organize edecek şekilde bir planlama yapmak da mümkün. Bunun da bilgisini veriyor olalım. Avustralya haricinde peki yurt dışı eğitim dediğimiz zaman Türkiye'den çoğunlukla öğrenci gönderdiğimiz hangi ülkeler var? Work and Study dedik az önce. Oradan biraz devam etmek istiyorum. İrlanda'yı özellikle düşünebilirsiniz burada. İrlanda, Malta, Dubai dediğimiz yine dil okullarında yasal çalışma izni alabileceğiniz ülkeler. Yüksek öğrenimde zaten artık fuarın sıkı takipçileri çok iyi biliyorlar ki birçok alternatifleri var. Neredeyse bütün ülkelerde yüksek öğrenim, lisans, yüksek lisans, diploma, sertifika programlarına gittiğinizde yasal çalışma izni alabiliyorsunuz. Dolayısıyla da bu ülkeleri ziyaret ettiğinizde yine part-time öğrenci çalışma izniniz, bazı ülkelerde eğitim sonrası da ekstra çalışma izinleriniz olacak. İrlanda ile alakalı yine yakın zamanda şu geçtiğimiz bir ay içerisinde güzel bir gelişme oldu. O da dil okulu vizelerinin tekrardan değerlendirmeye alınması ve aynı zamanda da artık dil okulu içinde seyahat etmenin mümkün olması. Bununla birlikte tabii ki yanı başındaki İngiltere'de yine Türkiye nezdinde güzel bir karar aldı ve Türkiye'de yapılan BioNTech aşılarını da aynı zamanda onayladı ve artık İngiltere'ye de karantinasız bir şekilde giriş yapmanız mümkün. Kanada ve Amerika tarafında da işler kötüye gitmiyor. Orada da artık güzel haberler verebiliyoruz. Yine aynı şekilde çift doz aşısını olmuş öğrencilerimiz karantinasız olarak yüz yüze eğitimlerine kaldıkları yerden veya yeni baştan başlayabiliyorlar. Yüksek öğrenim konusunda özellikle şu anda Türkiye'de ön plana çıkan Avrupa üniversiteleri içinde ikinci dönem yani bahar dönemiyle beraber başvurular başladı. İster yüksek lisans, ister lisans, belki bir hazırlık dönemi için eğitim almaya gitmek istiyorsanız yine aynı şekilde buralar için de seyahat etmek mümkün. Artık COVID-19'un hayatımıza kattığı zorlukların yanında bu burs imkanlarını da en iyi şekilde değerlendirebileceğiniz bir dönemin içerisindeyiz. Çünkü seyahatler üzerindeki zorluklar giderek azalmaya, yavaşlamaya ve artık yurt dışı eğitimin tekrardan yüz yüze seyahat ederek aynı eski keyfiyle yaşanabileceği dönemlere doğru hep beraber ilerlemeye devam ediyoruz. Detaylı sorularınız olursa lütfen bizimle Endless Abroad standı içerisinde, bizler Hall 2'deyiz şu anda. Hall 2'de bizlerin standını bularak bizimle iletişime geçebilirsiniz. 2 gün boyunca eminim bütün süreci verimli bir şekilde kullandınız. Önceki seminerleri izlediniz veya kayıtlı halini izleyenlere de hitap edelim. Yine aynı şekilde fuarın partneri Endless Abroad Yurtdışı Eğitime Türkiye'de bulunan 18 ofisi üzerinden ulaşabilirsiniz. Bizler tüm sorularınızı yanıtlamak için bekliyor olacağız. Umuyorum yüz yüze yan yana görüşeceğimiz günlerimiz de olur. Şimdilik herkes umarım kendine çok iyi bakar ve yurt dışı eğitim hedefini bir gün gerçek kılabilir. Bunu da Endless Abroad yurt dışı eğitimle gerçekleştirmek mümkün olur. Kendinize çok iyi bakın, hoşça kalın.